Kai kisena kai pani pania kai zogo. 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 Itagar zugu bale na nit minu. Itagar zugu bale na nit minu. Kai kisena kai pani pania kai zogo. 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 Itagar zugu bale na nit minu.
I'm Alick Tipoti. I'm an artist. I have 4 beautiful children with my beautiful wife, Taumatini. She is from Rarotonga in the Cook Islands. I grew up on Badu. He's in the western islands of the Torres Strait between Papua New Guinea and the Australian mainland. A dot in the Western Pacific Ocean. Okay.
It's on! Alright, let's make magic.
My home language is Kalalagawia of the Malulgal nation of Zenadkes. You may know Zenadkes by another name, Torres Strait. And now there's a lot of interest in the art and culture from the Torres Strait too. My art has found its way to many galleries around the world. It means sometimes I have to travel to faraway places. But wherever I go, the ocean keeps me connected to Badu. One of the most amazing museums I have ever seen is on the edge of the cliffs in Monaco, known as the Temple of the Sea. Monaco's Oceanographic Museum was built almost 120 years ago by Prince Albert I of Monaco, a great adventurer and seafarer. Albert I believed that art, science, and nature held the key to our planet's future, and I've heard that Albert's great-great-grandson, Albert II, is following in his ancestors' footsteps.
My first memory was not only going to the museum, and my sister Carolyn and I started going there when we were 2 years old. That's the advantage of having one of the world's finest oceanographic museums virtually down the block from us. And so we would go there and visit the aquarium and visit the different collections on a regular basis.
I was in Monaco for the Taba Naba exhibition. There was art from many Australian Indigenous artists. I had my bronze sculpture dugong there, but I think the turtle design on top of the roof of the Oceanographic Museum be really capture, put Torres Strait art on the map from a different perspective. This is the Oceanographic Museum of Monaco we're talking about. And it's a big space that they put that work on and for the world to see, you know. Me and my boys were there, my Zugubal dancers, we probably performed there.
I think Alick Tipoti has an art which is very strongly related to his ancestors' view. That's the reason why we organized that Taba Naba exhibition of indigenous artists who did not lose their relationship with the nature.
At the opening night, after our performance, everybody else dressed up in suits. We were just in flower shirts and jeans, just being islanders in a foreign country, meeting and greeting people. Obviously, I had to meet the prince in front of the work that was framed, the same work that was on the roof. I was just talking to Prince Albert as if though he was just a normal guy. And I may have said to him that, thank you for having me here in your country. Maybe one day you can come and visit my island. You know, I think they took that and, you know, parked it. It was an exciting moment, once in a lifetime, to invite someone of that stature to come to your place, sit down, relax, away from his schedule and his lifestyle, and come and you share your lifestyle with him. But why would Albert of Monaco come to the other side of the earth? Monaco was very exciting, but when I go home to Badu, I realize how special it is here. It's what inspired me to do my work. Everything I do in my art practice is based on ancient time, long before my time, long before my grandfather's time, long before my great-great-grandfather's time. So it's more the proper ancient time, long time ago. When I'm carving lino, it's all about traditional patterns or cultural patterns. We call it lagao mineral, island patterns. It's lino printing, where we print on paper. But it's an introduced technique, because obviously this works like a stamp. It's the best way to obtain that same feeling that our ancestors do on artifacts from a long time ago. Look there, Daddy make him. Daddy carve him. Wow, sasesere. Look, money asleep. You look him sleep? One is one. Wow, no, it's an umai.
Umai.
Umai, wow, dog, wow.
Dog umai.
Wow, I'm going to scan at night time. Oh, wow, sasesere. Wow. I live the life today, but I abide by ancient cultural protocol. So it got to a stage where I experienced many encounters, and to the point where I could feel that it was not just one spirit, it was more than one. So it was pretty scary at first, but then, like I said, with the speaking and language, it really connects, you know, me to those spiritual ancestors and strengthens my way of thinking guiding me through my art practice. The conch shell or the trumpet shell, we call them boo shell or boo. That one plays a many important role in our language. Not just us, all throughout the Pacific. When we blow the boo shell, we are actually acknowledging the winds. Kuki Gub, northwest. Naigai Gub, northeast. Wour, southeast. And Zay, southwest. Spiritual beings, Zugubal, they control the weather. Thunder, lightning, they control the wind, the rain, the currents. We are seafarers. Our ancestors were seafarers. When we are fishing, hunting, we acknowledge the knowledge that has been passed down to us. The reefs are us, we are the reefs. They look after us, and we will look after them. To be a good hunter, there needs to be strong connection with the hunted. Like myself, Edmund Tamwai recently returned to Lagbad after many years away. He is passionate about the crayfish industry. His wife is my cousin's sister, and his young sons, they are my wadwams. I am their uncle.
I'm learning how to catch the crays, and I'm learning how you approach them when the tide's coming in. You don't go catch it from the way the tide is coming, because they'll make the dust and scare them away. I'm hoping for lots of crays and big ones, so we get money and I help my dad with the business.
There are great impacts in the waters of Torres Strait in the last few years. In the fishing industry, as a business operator, I'm considering the environmental changes so that we can sustain and manage and protect our sea country for the future, to ensure that these reefs and corals are preserved for generations coming.
The reason I make my art, it's all about cultural preservation. That's what motivates me to do what I do. I am not a Christian. I can't see myself forgiving those early missionaries for forbidding language and culture of my people. Christianity came to the Torres Strait in 1871. The price we paid was our language and our culture. Though there are many islanders whose ancestors come from many other parts of the Pacific, we are Melanesian. The European name for the islands came from the Spanish explorer, Captain Luis Vaz de Torres, on his way through the strait to Manila in 1606. Pearling began in the 1840s, and over the next 50 years, thousands of people came to the islands. At one stage, there were more than 100 pearl luggers working the region. Badu was a leader in the industry. These islands were annexed by Queensland in 1879. Things got progressively worse with the restrictions on inter-island travel and the introduction of curfews and segregation. How sweet it was a century later that it was a Torres Strait Island man who changed the course of Australia's modern history. In 1992, Uncle Eddie Koiki Mabo from Mer won a landmark High Court case leading to land rights for all Indigenous Australians. I like to think Uncle Koiki was a warrior, just like his ancestors.
This place reminds me of my ancestors. That was Ed Hunter's time.
Auntie Giza is a relative of mine. She's a strong personality in our community.
My great-great-great-grandfather beheaded the last Sarup just in front of Dugnur. Back in those days, they were war parties. There were canoes coming to fight here, and beheading was like a trophy for them. For all my ancestors here, who have roamed and lived here as nomads, and I'm gonna cry because I feel their presence here today. Hai ka lak ni semua bi kema pasin kema sofugin. Wal ngai nak yun inabuto yol miad. Malo yan nakigati yol miad. Kurba wanti. I know wanti. Itagarona look after man. Kema eso. I wad pulay muli makeda. Ngai kasa visitor. Ngai kazapuka destroy my kalawang. Damis may kalawang. Why inangay kunyan eh.
I have the honor to welcome to the United Nations, on behalf of the General Assembly, His Serene Highness, Prince Albert II of Monaco.
L'environnement naturel se dégrade à un rythme alarmant. Le niveau des mers s'élève, l'acidification des océans s'accélère. Les 4 dernières années ont été les plus chaudes jamais enregistrées. 1 million d'espèces.
I was not really optimistic about the prince to go to the other side of the earth and to visit the Tipoti's family.
Monsieur le Président, Mesdames, Messieurs, je vous remercie de votre attention.
I knew a bit of the geography, and I saw Badu Island on a map. I learned about Badu principally through Alick. And when Alick did present me with an oral invitation, I thought it was wonderful, and I said, of course, I'd love to come when the time is right.
The prince's willingness was very strong, and he sort of bent his agenda.
The buzz is in the air, and Prince of Monaco is coming to Badu.
It was suddenly announced that he was coming to Badu.
At first, they can't believe it. They think it's a joke. But now people have realized, because they've heard it from me, this kind of prince is coming.
It was a really big surprise.
We're gonna have some dancing, and we're gonna have some kai for him when I come, so he can really feel, the welcoming from my community. Wow.
We're making these lace for our visitors, Prince Albert and his team from Monaco. We're going to make it nicely. He'll be very happy to receive these. I think this one's good for the prince, eh?
Yeah.
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 And it's your first one too. Well done, darling. Beautiful.
Nana be planting coconut them and one. Okay. Hey, come here. Everyone, come here. Hi, one. Come, Kuston. I want to speak about something. Come. Closer. No, tomorrow we go there, airport ward. And the prince will come. Then we go kai there tomorrow night. They will hall. They will Ugri hall. They will town. And then parade wards. On Friday was the school. Well, I think it's important when people of such stature visit our community, I think to have them participate in planting a coconut tree or some sort of ike that will remember that visit for a long time to come. And I can say to my children that when Prince of Monaco visit come, he planted these coconut trees. So when I'm come, we'll make sure he does that here, and yeah, look forward to it. I think he'll be more than happy to do that as well.
How come I'm coming here for?
I am come because I'm gonna visit Daddy. But you know how come? Every year, the climate change, the sun come more hot, the wave come tide come more high, and you block it that one and the sun. He can destroy the island. He can take him slowly one till water go come on top. You know, my eldest daughter Dagum, I'm 16 now. I think they might be too young really to understand the impact we got from this climate change. They never seen what was before. When we were small, the mazal, the reefs, Itail, the corals, they were different from today. Now he you know, because the global warming, he different. Some parts of the reef he dying. So we see the changes, and we're only in our 40s. I'm only in my 40s. I've seen the changes. But the elders before me who are in their 70s, they see more big changes.
Of course, I love traveling, and I love to discover new places around the world. And this was, I think, a unique opportunity to go to a part of the world and a part of Australia that is still relatively not well known.
Mama go thing and you go. No, mine. Ali go bayan later. Shell. Shells.
Today is a big day. Prince is arriving. We don't know what to expect because whether there's going to be eye security, you know, Prince is Prince and bodyguards. First time for someone so important to come to the island.
Look at you. Beautiful.
You ready?
Everyone ready?
He'll come in his jet to Horn Island first, then on Skytrans. He'll land at the Badu airstrip at Wakait village.
This is for real. Prince Albert will be on Badu. Come along and see for yourself. We got a real live prince on the island.
The elders are really excited too because the mothers especially, all the aunties, all only read about the prince and his mother and the royal families in newspapers or in magazines. To have, you know, the son of Grace Kelly visit Badu and sit among them, I think all excited about.
We're going to meet him at the airstrip. Elders going to welcome Prince onto Badu, to actually land and stand on the soil of Badu.
We will perform Laga boat dance just to show that bit of history.
So it's going to be a good week knowing that Prince is on the island.
How are you?
Good.
Prince Albert of Monaco. Ngayon lak aywal mani ngalmun lak no mangay ka. Matike de lak muno no may ka. Ngalmun mabaigal kay ngalmun kay mel may nga kulay ngalmun ngaya. O ngay lak nin aywal mani matike de nino mabaigal kapugay ka ayin ngalmun ka. Mina kapugay ka ngay kasaman. Hey, Meso.
Get to the run.
Welcome. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's a privilege. Thank you very much.
Translated.
Yes.
That, Prince Albert of Monaco, we welcome you. Elders, past and present, we welcome you to our country, and we are blessed by your visit. It's a good day for us. Somebody of your caliber to visit our island.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you for welcoming us in your community.
It's a marvelous day for us in Badu. We all happy.
Yeah. My name is Manuel.
Manuel.
And this is Elder Uncle Ronnie.
Uncle Ronnie.
Uncle Ronnie.
I think the main thing is got to make him fit in, make him be like one of us. No royal knows what they do in the castle, how they serve him back home, but he's going to be a local boy. Prince Albert II.
Hello and welcome. Yeah, I'm well, thank you.
Great pleasure to see you.
Yeah, welcome to my country. Thank you. Thank you for visiting. This is my wife. This is my wife. We'd like to present you with a lei. Yeah. This is my wife Martini and Rob. Yeah. This is my eldest daughter.
Hello.
Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I'm so happy.
So we will head off in a vehicle to sign in at the local council office.
Yeah. There we go. This is great.
First thing, let's hope the car starts. But looks like it's good. You'll get to come to my camp.
Yeah, well, we saw your camp also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. So
Ariel showed us.
Yes.
Where it was. There's a nice beach in front there.
It's the longest beach on the island. It's our place. This is not a big city,
Uh-huh.
but Sometimes when we want to get away from the crowd, we just go to camp where it's nice and peaceful. You know, as you see on the map, it's a small island, it's a dot.
Yeah.
And well, you know.
Well, Monaco's a dot as well.
A very busy one, but. When we have visitors come to Badu, it's our business to know what they're doing on the island. That's why we have this system in place where they have to sign in at the local council office.
Hello.
Even though it's part of Australia or part of Queensland, we are Badulgal are proud of being Badulgal, independent. I might forget and I might ask you, where is your pass?
How are you?
Are you the prince?
Yes.
Can I shake your hand?
How you doing? How you doing?
Can I shake your hand?
Yes.
Thank you. Can
How are you?
Can I shake your hand, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. I love this thing, yeah. Frangipani lei.
You want it?
Yes. Can I want it?
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go now.
Alright.
These are
Okay.
beautiful, active kids. They liven up the community. How are that?
Thank you.
Yes.
And you plan? Yeah. Takat. Hey. Okay, we should go now. Eh, sa bicycle buto. Kristen.
Here, I'll give it back to you. Here. Up. Here. Up. Here, up. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, huh? Cheers.
I want to be famous.
So this is our local supermarket. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Jody. Badu Island being a remote place, there are no restaurants where for the prince to dine out.
Nick, where is the Vegemite?
Vegemite.
Susie, where is the Vegemite?
It was really interesting to watch him walking through the aisles of the local store and buying stuff.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That's the paper bag I was talking about.
See? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
No more plastic bags, huh? Good. I know.
Tonight, yeah.
Definitely.
What's that one?
Oh, yeah. Is that a dugong?
Oh, let me show you. There are many reasons that the dugong and turtle are a part of our culture in terms of hunting and eating. It is part of our ceremonies, our rituals.
Oh, beautiful animals.
Very beautiful animals. We have our knowledge about dugong,
Yeah.
the Torres Strait Islanders, from our forefathers, from Uncle Ronnie, and now down to us.
Yeah.
We don't use our food.
Yeah.
We can just grab them dugong with a rope.
Okay.
Wow.
Dive, you grab the.
Really?
You can look when the dugong start to get a little bit tired. Then you jump on, sit on top of the dugong tail, and then time up the rope. That's all.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Well, many protocols have been placed generations ago. That's why we still have them today.
Yeah.
You don't take what you want, you just take what you need.
Wangat mini ya kata mo din, may keda nui ngai ka mulay din. Balali, keda nui mangka kaina. Nui ngai ka mulay din, keda zapul bangal, nui na mangka kaina nguzong mudai mai kai. So zapul mura ngai ki mudai din, nungumika. Migi ay good ka public wala no.
Our feast, our kaikai tonight, will include special cultural food, turtle and dugong, as well as pork, crayfish, shellfish, vegetables and damper.
this is the pub house.
This is the pub house.
Okay.
And this is the accommodation.
Wow.
It's toilet, bathroom,
Looks nice.
a couple of rooms, table, and you can put the lei on the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put the lei on the table.
Nice and cozy.
Fantastic.
I will give that to you.
Okay.
So I don't get blamed for
the official
getting you locked
animal.
out. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to Badu.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hello. Hello.
This is my nephew. He was
How are you?
hitting the drums today.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, that's my nephew, Ollie.
You'll enjoy the performance tonight.
He's got a beautiful
No,
voice
I'm going to
too.
enjoy the performance. Thank you.
Yep.
But I hope they'll feed you too.
You're the main one.
I tell you, you'll find there's a lot of shy people.
That's okay. I used to be shy too, you know. How are you?
The beautiful ladies of Badu
How are
Island.
you?
Thank you.
People think that Monaco is an island. It's very interesting to be able to explain that, no, we're on the coast and we're very much a maritime country, but we're not an island. Even if Badu is much larger than Monaco, it's still a small place and a small community. We're connected by this global ocean.
Well, welcome to our place. If you recognize me, I was the best dancer out there today. Some people might question that, but anyway.
Laurie Nona chose to lead the community. He was the Torres Strait Regional Council representative for Badu Island.
Our water is getting warmer faster than the global warming. Torres Strait, our reefs are already dying. Our reefs will die more.
We've known each other since we were little, traveled the same journey, moved away from home, learned the English language, enjoyed life outside of Badu. We always talk about preserving language, good passing or way of life in our children. We're basically on the same path in life.
You can see it. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes, there it is, please. Yeah. In the afternoon, we'll see the herd of dugongs just eating along here.
The dugongs are not migrating in the same areas. They're going on top of reef. I mean, there's no seaweed on top of reef. What are these dugongs doing? Like the turtle mating are coming very late. The life around us is at one with us. And we see changes within that. They're ringing bells. It's changing. I've lived in the city and I live in my home. And I can see how very easily people in the city can not recognize climate change. I'd really challenge people to come out to our region right in the middle of summer. The sun wasn't that hot 20 years ago.
I would like to, of course, thank you for this invitation to come and visit Badu Island. My great-great-grandfather, Prince Albert I, used to say that science and art were the two driving forces of civilization. He said this over 100 years ago. And I think it's still very true today. Thank you very, very much.
Wanguzi ya uya ikakeda when Prince Albert no ina mange idina alpomoro ngula igal keda no Prince but no ilak no mulko pude idin alpon le balka because balali ngai ka keda mulai din keda nui langwa keda nui ngapa mima keda nui ki aira kawa nui laka badol gau alpun lebal kamul ka miye din nui keda mai ka nui tuma saidali madin table wazimar and nui mura mit pate midin seta baidal sipudal nui bikamina kapuma.
There we go. It's a small community, but it's a very tight community. Everybody is very friendly and very welcoming, of course, but everybody is very close to one another. And I've had that impression of it being like a big family, that more or less everybody knows everybody else, but they all try to help one another.
Good enough to eat?
That in itself is also very similar to Monaco because we're also a small community and a lot of people know everybody else. I can't say I know all 38,000, but so there are similarities there. But I thought that on Badu everybody cares for one another, and that's very heartwarming.
Auntie Diana taught me when I was in primary school. She's been passing down cultural knowledge for many, many years now. She's a very strong leader in singing to preserve language.
The warup is made from the tree, and when they make that hollow, make sure that when you put the animal skin, make sure that the sound is going like deep sound or light sound. And when you sing, you're using language words because we teach you to move to make the hand movements with the songs, each word of the songs. Every songs have meanings. Looking at the sky, looking at the water, weather, if it's calm. So we learned island dancing, not only daytime. We dance at night. For the moonlight, we dance and sing.
It's my great privilege to welcome His Highness Prince Albert and special delegates to Badugao Nupai Lag. This is an incredible opportunity to have Prince Albert here at our school to experience what I truly believe with my whole heart is the best school in Australia.
We enjoy coming to school each day to further our education and enjoy the learning activities that our teachers and teacher aides provide for us. And we are so proud of our local artists being recognized internationally. It is our history, our myths and legends, our stories, our songs and traditional dances, our cultural identity and strong affinity to the land, sea, and air that is captured in our art that makes our style so unique, captivating, and appealing.
When I'm mingling in the community, in community meetings, public presentations, we speak in language and we encourage our kids to be around that environment. Now, Mipla children all go away for high school. We as language speakers, we stress about this every day. especially when our children are away. When we speak language, we learn more about the environment. Language in songs is a reminder to us as a people that we have to continue to look after our island and reefs and waters.
The younger generation on Badu, but in different parts of the world, is taking hold of environmental issues and ocean-related issues and make it their own fight.
And proud learner. Keep up the awesome learning, Kingston.
The sore spot of my visit to Badu, but it's the same everywhere else that I've been to in the world. Every island I've been to in the Pacific, the plastic pollution is there.
Makes me sick, really, but I think there's a big movement now to not only want to clean up, but to stop the production as it is. It has to be part of a circular economy scheme that we have to put in place, because otherwise we're going to be buried in plastics pretty soon.
This pollution can come from thousands of miles away, and sometimes it's in microparticles, and you can't even see it. We can't go on pouring 8 to 10 million tons of plastic into our oceans every year.
See what I mean?
Get a bit wet.
Yeah, that's
what we're used to it.
It's called the let us spray moment.
Well, me and Prince, me too, have our, private conversations, and he really, really appreciated. I mean, he shared his experience. I try to share as much as I can. He went diving in the waters here in the Torres Strait, so got to see the coral and the reef.
Pretty early on, our parents introduced us to every kind of activity that we could do on the water. I learned how to dive, and it's just unbelievable to be able to live an experience underwater and to see not only the beauties, but to also see, unfortunately, the damages. That prompted me to want to take action in a more personal way, try to best address these issues.
Reef, the ones that are exposed or low tide, they look dead now. Not like before, all got color, and now they're all dying. Some turning white. It's heartbreaking to see a big batch of ghost nets stuck on a big log, and several turtles, dead, stuck in it. And obviously what other especially large sea creatures get stuck there. It's not our fault. We never introduced net, but it happens on a global, on an international level. But somehow we have to be aware of that and make people aware of that we need to look after the sea creatures as well. There's always dugongs swimming and turtles swimming along here. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I see a dugong or something, or even I see a turtle, and it sort of inspires me to do new work.
That's great. So it's a place of inspiration.
A place of inspiration, yeah. You're drinking a Great Northern.
Well, I need to bring one back with me because I promised a friend of mine I was bringing back a beer from every stop I make on this trip.
Well, you have to take it
Not from Australia, Cairns, Townsville, wherever you're going, you have to take it from Badu.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Uncle Ronnie Namoa, he's my father's first cousin. So Uncle Ronnie is a father figure for me. He knows a lot. He speaks from what he's experienced, he's seen. It's always good to have his perspective on things, how hard life was like working on the boats those times, yeah.
Yeah. Prince Albert?
Yes.
You remember Uncle Ronnie?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how
I
are you?
remember you. I'm all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Thank you for allowing us into your home.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy you're here.
Baba ngai karang urbal gar ngai ke gar gi urbal.
Musulman.
Wa musulman ga kampung utui ka.
Awa, kayo dapal wazim.
Yep.
Where I'm living, I stay on my family land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a wonderful thing.
And
so here we are.
We got them coconut here. You can just grab them and put them in the ground.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
These are good ones.
Yeah. So when all my grandchildren come back home, I tell them about this area.
Yeah.
This is where Prince Albert been standing. So I won't forget that.
Well, I won't forget it either.
Yeah.
My dad used to work in the Torres Strait pilots. So we went to Thursday Island. That was really good, growing on Thursday Island, learning to speak English because I only spoke language. I couldn't even go to the shop and buy something because I didn't know what to say. We had a movie theater, no cover, so when it rained, we had to take shelter. We had white people upstairs and Afghans people in the back seat, canvas seat, and the islanders and Aboriginals were on wooden seats. So that was like segregation, did existed then. I watched a lot of Grace Kelly's movies on Thursday Island.
In 1954, lovely Grace Kelly of Philadelphia and Hollywood won an Oscar, the high point of her career as a movie queen. She wed Prince Rainier of Monaco, and as Princess Grace left films to help rule the tiny principality on the Mediterranean.
We wanted to let him know, we personally, from the magazine, we knew his mum. And through films that we watched on Thursday Island, that how we were touched to Princess Grace Kelly. I did shed tears for Mum because she was wonderful, very privileged to have met you. And this afternoon talk to you about Mum. She's in our heart, beautiful lady. And all our aunties that, you know, deceased, she was an idol to them. Like yesterday, you walked into the school gate. I was standing right there and I was very emotional, like just thinking of the gravesite and all our aunties and mothers. I wish they were like here. True. I followed that part where she first met your dad, and then for the second time she met him, and you know, he was the love of her life, eh? But but you know, yeah. And then when the accident
was on the news now, like, you know, to celebrate Project Care.
I'm very touched by all your stories of how you came to know about my mother and how you came to follow her and follow her life and her, not only her life as an actress, of course, but her life as Princess of Monaco and as my mother and your mother to my sisters and I. And it wasn't just her beauty, she was also beautiful inside. These ladies that live on the other side of the world in a country that my mother never traveled to, never visited, that they were touched by my mother's personality and by her warmth of heart and spirit, was really very touching and very emotional for me, and I'll never forget that moment.
The visit of the Prince Albert from Monaco to Badu, for us, we felt that he was a very down-to-earth man, somebody who understood and appreciated our way of life, who we are, and our region, our economy, our community, our future, which is the children, and trying to advocate so that their life to come is culture, is the environment, and is jobs through those things. Our language, for example, we're losing it. Really? Because our governments don't really give a rat's ass about our preserving our language. Australian government is the most poorest government in relation to preservation of language, Aboriginal languages and our languages. Yeah. There's nothing in place, even though it's our responsibility to teach it. But if the country had that interest, then we would have that support, and so we would be probably in our curriculums injected where there is a proper language program, just like French, just like Japanese, just like, you know. But in Australia there is not kalalago in a classroom.
In Monaco, our own national language was disappearing until my father agreed to that it be taught in schools again. High school students from Monaco can present Monegasque, which is the name of the language, for the French baccalaureate. So it's so I hope that
I guess
that can be the same in your country.
You would relate to this, Prince, is like it leads back to climate change because, like we were talking about, migratory birds, they all coincide with this season, and that can only be taught by language.
We have big erosion, big chunk of our beaches taken. Little islands in the Torres Straits are going to be lost. They won't have anybody living on the islands.
Two problems there. Like one of the things is the sandbanks are getting higher because the tides are getting higher. And one of the things council is discussing is the evacuation of communities of other islands. So we've got an evacuation plan that is now on the table for discussion. So the elders don't want to accept that they have to move. When somebody just refuses to believe it and say, no, that will never happen. Our ancestors' spirits are here, they won't let it happen. So there's truly belief that.
Climate change is a big issue, and our industry in crayfishing, because that's where we earn our money from the ocean.
Yeah, that's a big one, man. That's a good one.
I like to see Badu as it used to be. We had pearling luggers and Badu was rich, and for the only way to have that coming in is setting up employment for locals.
I say water boys are see much stop me minoa. Okay then, no worries then. I make disappointed me because I thought get the murang up kukunwa ikawa. Was expecting about 5 boats. There's only 2 boats coming. There's one of the fishermen coming from Mobiang. Yeah, it's not good news for me because I'm expecting to fill a plane up tomorrow. It's a direct flight from Badu to Cairns. So we'll have about 600 kilos. That's a lot, but not what I wanted. I wanted more, at least about 900. In the morning from 4:30 to 7:45, we'll start packing. We put them into boxes alive to be shipped off. I've traveled 45 minutes to Thursday Island today. I think it's very important that we work closely with Prince Albert, looking into the climate changes, how it's affecting the Torres Strait.
How you going?
Yeah, all good, mate. Made it here safely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Solander.
At the moment, we're in the early planning phases of a joint Monaco-Australian expedition that would be held aboard this vessel, the RV Solander.
Mate.
Hi there, brother.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you very much
Great
for
to
the
see you.
invitation.
We're working with the Badu Islanders and Edmund Tamoy as a real partnership to understand what's going on here.
Fantastic. Well, welcome aboard the Solander.
This is a new thing for us. They are the traditional custodians. They literally have centuries of knowledge of these waters. They are the original scientists. They're intimately connected to the sea here, and they want to be involved in finding solutions. At that time, I knew very little about Badu before the prince's visit. He was the connector. He was the facilitator, bringing all these things together.
So are we going to see some wildlife on the way there? There are snakes on the island, aren't
There are snakes on the island, yeah. There's pythons and lizard, lots of lizard, frilled neck lizard. We got heaps of those here. Decent sized one. The probably heads are big like my fist. And kunara is the death adder. We have that. Yeah.
So we have to watch where we step.
Oh no, I've cleared my camp because I teach the kids about the snakes.
Yeah.
But I've made sure that I clear it where they don't really come up to camp. Hey, we started to.
Really? Well, because it needs beer?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
That's the one.
There we go. Sorry to lean on you.
Yeah, you're right.
But
I'm here to support you. There you go, as much as you can. And that's it.
Yeah?
And I'll cover it.
And then we cover it up.
And we just cover it up like that. Or you can help me if you want.
Sure.
That's the one.
Okay.
Perfectly in.
Thank you.
I can tell my children that Prince Albert planted these. And then he can tell his children that he planted those. And one day, maybe his children will visit here to see where Father Bademplabi planted coconut.
Thank you, Alick.
Yeah.
That was great.
Let's check out the sunset. Get your glasses on.
Check out the sunset.
There was some connection there, and that you start cracking jokes. It just flowed very naturally. And then, of course, seeing him in his own environment and in his home with his family brought a completely different perspective. I mean, he was the same man, but to see him in his own environment was something wonderful.
Okay. This is one of my, well, this is actually my longest lino print.
Really?
Yeah. And hold that there. And we'll just unfold it this way. And this will never stop.
So
That's the mask dance.
the master dancer.
Mawa. Yep.
Awa.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really, it's so.
And it's
complete and
8.2
so-
meters long.
Oh, the poo.
Yeah, the bushel. Yep, they blow the boo.
The boo.
Yep. Oh, when is it gonna stop?
I got it.
What is this one?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's a fantastic piece. It's a beautiful piece.
Thank you. Kapkubil families, ngai gar les lake supui binit muni kumura inab kubilka. Prince Albert, welcome and thank you. It's a special visit, as you know, the Badu community welcomed you, but I'd like to acknowledge again my beautiful wife for standing beside me for this.
Well, listen, I don't know what to say, except 1,000 thank yous for your friendship, for your hospitality, for the incredible warmth that we've received. We've all had a wonderful, wonderful time here. It's was incredible to get to experience not only your hospitality, but the hospitality of everyone on this island, and to get to know your culture better, to get to know your everyday life and the incredible challenges that you're facing, but the good humor and the wonderful attitude and wonderful spirit that you and your people have is really remarkable. And so I wanted to thank you both from the bottom of my heart, and I think I speak on behalf of everyone here. We've had an incredible and wonderful stay here. Thank you so much. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, my friend. Thank you.
We women called Badu Ipkazil Garui Damik, mean Badu women come together. We talked about how we could look after the environment and be more strong in saying what we want.
Giza started that women group, like for us to encourage women not to be shy. Me and Giza been through that because we learned from our aunties and uncles and how to welcome outsiders to come, welcome the country, like, yeah. So not only men do this, let's women can do that, like in 2020s.
Ada badu imatin, malo imatin. Keda senana mata ngalpun bingi mika keda ngalpun rabisal ngalpun midiki diuzi maika. Kay mamalo no tayo ikalaw ngalpun mulay gal. Ngalpun ati alakal ngalpun apual tatin midiki daudin ngalpun urpadin. Nid maslak balbal giza ngapu manina nino community kawa lak balbal giza nino datiu baigaran lak na malu mataklin.
It makes us want to do more and talk about it and teach our children and the younger generation that this is real.
With this whole climate change thing that's happening to us, we can only educate our children not to contribute to making it worse. And we can only encourage them and educate them, make them aware that you have to think about these things. Not just throw plastic everywhere and just not care about the environment. After the Princeby visit, I get invitation from the museum for me to come over and, rub shoulders again with the prince. This time I wanted to share this moment with my wife and my eldest child, Dagu. Show him around Monaco, show them the museum and the work, just normal tourist thing. Oh God. I'm probably still sleep.
Oh. Baby, she's awake.
Oh,
Are you ready? We're gonna go soon. We're gonna go out.
The sun's out.
Nice.
Nice. Just having my family with me is like, well, I've been talking and telling them all about my trips, and now they can see it for themselves. This beautiful city of Monaco, and yeah, it's good. Real estate. Now they're getting busy when the GP go happen.
Oh, look at them cafes, man. They're real pretty.
When I go Monaco, it's very different from my lifestyle. I'm not used to walking in and, people, tourists. I'm just used to me, myself, my family, and my community. Oh, look this one, yeah. Look this one.
I like this one.
1991. No, we do. Never get on. Look there. Agad. Everybody smile. Everybody pakitan.
Monaco is a very urbanized city-state. We have the wonderful Mediterranean in front of us, and that, I think, is the great link, is that we're connected by this global ocean. Of course, knowing that I was named after Prince Albert I and seeing his huge statue in the museum, I was so fascinated and overwhelmed also.
By all accounts, Albert's great-great-grandfather, Prince Albert I, was a remarkable man. At 22 years old, he decided he wanted to have a career in the new science of oceanography. So he set about a lifetime of exploring. He traveled throughout the Mediterranean, making numerous oceanographic studies, maps and charts. He was fascinated by the polar regions and financed and commanded many expeditions, collecting specimens for his brand new oceanographic museum. The famous French underwater explorer Jacques Cousteau was director from 1957 to 1988. Many scientific achievements and inventions happened because of Prince Albert I's support.
There's a cute picture of where we're with our parents, my sister and I, and everybody's looking at something that was displayed on a table, and I'm looking back and looking at my great-great-grandfather there, and this huge, what seemed to me like a huge statue. It's not so huge now when I look at it. Photographic evidence of my inspiration by Prince Albert I.
I think the museum, yeah, I don't know.
This piece of art is huge one. So with a lot
You
of
know that the mission of the Oceanographic Institute, and since our creation more than 100 years ago, is to know and to protect the ocean. I think the story of Alick and the Oceanographic Museum, it's a really nice story. First of all, we had a very warm and very nice welcome by the Tipoti family in Badu Island. And we had the opportunity to continue our exchange and to develop our friendship.
As you all know, my name is Alick Tipoti. I'm from Badu Island in the Torres Strait. We're going to be doing some lino cuts today.
We are very happy to have Alick Tipoti here and to welcome them at the Oceanographic Museum. The Western civilization, we are very strong in nature science, but sometimes not so strong in understanding the connection between nature science and human science.
And this is when we keep our fingers crossed.
C'est là qu'on croise les doigts pour voir si ça a bien fonctionné.
Progressively, we got the feeling that art was a door which will enable us to open and to find a way to understand a little bit better that relationship through emotion.
That's freaky.
It's like a high heel and a boot. How do you feel?
I'm ready for
Change the nation meeting.
meeting at the United Nations. But anyway, sounds good. Mom, what is it?
Darling, sorry, wait there.
Oh,
Still got the second one from Cairns.
So two or no?
No, I got the button off though.
No.
Here, you leave it on.
I don't know.
Wow.
Hi.
Good to see you. How are you going?
Good to see you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
It's so good to be here.
Yeah.
See the familiar faces in the museum.
So I'm sorry, I have a little something on my head here.
What happened to you?
I had a little procedure for
okay.
nothing
Nothing
bad. I
major? Oh, okay, that's
know,
good.
But
Yeah.
it just had to be done, but unfortunately, the timing was bad. But so how are things in Badu?
Things are very well. Yeah.
So it was such a great time. I
Yeah.
cannot thank you again enough for that.
Yeah, no, everyone's still talking about it. People didn't believe that you were visiting until you came, and then I'm like, wow, really?
Squeeze in. Is that good?
Yes.
You are now a young ambassador of the Oceanographic Museum of Monaco.
I have been given a Young Ambassador Award.
So now we have to call you Madam Ambassador.
My daughter Dagum receiving the Youth Ambassador Award from the Oceanographic Museum in Monaco. As a father, I am so proud. You can only support on whatever they choose in terms of leadership. Because I might say, oh, I want you to be community leader. You can invest in her as much as you want, but she might turn out differently or have interest somewhere else.
Surprise!
Yeah. I thought so was my name. Wow. I'm going to treasure this forever. That was signed by him.
It's fantastic. And then there we are planning.
Yeah, they're shooting really well because the rain's good. They're really shooting up. They're about, So I'm
That's great.
You know, that was lovely. Of the
that was great. That was a great moment. We're able to have those nice conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. She's a great lady.
Ladies are good. I really appreciate my identity, where I'm from, the island that I live in. A lot of young artists look up to me because I'm recognized. You can be a really good artist, but you have to have a really good cultural knowledge on the same level as your art practice.
Wow.
We have the assistance of Alick for organizing the exhibition to show what we did do in Badu Island. I think that Alick art is a kind of door open which enable us to understand a little bit better how we can try to reconcile humankind and the sea.
Thank you so much, Martini, Dagoon, and Alick, for your welcome.
Ames is very keen on knowing more about the top end.
Yep.
Our strategy basically takes our Indigenous engagement and puts it very much in the frame of wanting to blend your traditional knowledge of sea country with our more Western science, if you want to call it that. So we can come together, we can learn from you, and you learn from us.
When I was in Monaco, Alick was there in the museum, and we talked about the expedition would focus very specifically on the Torres Strait. The prince, I know, was interested in coral reefs, and that's a key part of our strategy as well.
I think the planned expedition is a wonderful thing. If there's a way that we can preserve or regrow the corals, then basically it's just helping the marine life. It's more about awareness and getting people active, I think, as a community, as a regional, and then.
I really hope that we will be able to help on marine protected areas, on coral reefs, on different species, on different pollutions, and especially on plastics.
But the most important part is maybe now to start working on the preparation, thinking, designing of a new science mission in the Torres Strait.
I spent a bit of time with Prince Albert II in the midst of everything, all the media frenzy and everything. He made sure that I wasn't left behind. He kept on calling for me and making sure that I was part of the group. Prince Albert II has a very, very busy life. And I think one of the things I will cherish is for him to put some of those busy schedules aside and spend a little bit of time with me. I thought that was very special, and that's where I really, I suppose, connected with him just as a person. And I'll remember that for the rest of my life. In 10 to 20 years' time, the language is going to disappear. And that's my only concern. We can only try to preserve the language. That is the core of our culture. The singing and the dancing will continue. The fire of that will continue to burn. I see the fire in my children. It's my job to make sure that they pick up firewood and put it in the fire for it to continue to burn.
Well, I think very much in tune with what Alick does with his children and teaching them how their respect for nature is very much part of their culture, and that we cannot survive without nature and without our natural environment. I have a tree that I planted on Badu Island. So I hope to go back and see it, but I hope more importantly that it will have a long life so that my children can go back there someday and see that tree. And what a great length that is between us.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Alick. That was great.
First thing, let's hope the car starts.
The water's on.
Oh, the water's on.
All our aunties and mothers, I wish they were like here.
There's always dugongs swimming along here. It sort of inspires me to do new work. We don't know what's happening on the other side of the world in terms of something's happening to the sea. We still look at the star constellation. But today we have to actually depend on the technology to make ourselves aware what's happening over there. We have to prepare here. The land, the sea, and the sky look after Mipla as a culture. We have to look after it as humans. Torres Strait can't save the planet. We can only work and save our reefs and our water here. Maybe somehow we can all work together to basically save the planet.
Kaikis dena kai pani pania kai zogo itagar zugu bale na nit minu itagar zugu bale na nit minu Kaikis dena kai pani pania kai zogo 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 Itagar zugu bale na nit minu